Hi investors, Family Bank is finally coming to NSE on 23rd of this month. The bank is expected to officially begin trading on the NSE, and this is one of the biggest development in Kenyan bank stock market this year and has attracted a lot of attention from both new and experienced investors. But before you get excited and rush to buy, it's important to understand exactly what is happening, why it matters to you as an investor, and what you should be looking for as an investor. So exactly what is happening? It is joining, or it's being listed by something we call listing by introduction. What does that mean? It simply means Family Bank is not selling new shares to raise money from the public like the recent KPC IPO. No. Instead, the shares that are already owned by existing shareholders will now be available for buying and selling on the stock exchange. So, in other words, the company is simply opening its doors to the public market, and it's not asking any investor for fresh capital. But for an IPO, a company creates and sells new shares to raise new funds. So to raise funds, this one is not happening. And why is the bank listing now? It's quite simple. Family Bank believe it's ready, and it has been one of the strategic moves that they have wished to do for a long time. So in 2025, the bank has successfully raised a whole 8 billion through a private placement that strengthening its capital position. And because of this, the bank does not need to raise additional funds from the public. Instead, they are creating a market where investors can easily buy and sell shares while giving the bank, Family Bank, visibility and transparency. So, what will the listing do? It will allow more Kenyans to own a piece of the bank. Currently, it's just some few shareholders. And then, the existing shareholders who currently own the shares will have an easier way to sell their shares if they wish. And then it will help establish a transparent market value for the company and increase the bank's profile among investors and broader financial community. The other question you should be asking yourself, is Family Bank financially strong, or what I call fundamental strong companies? For most investors, this is the most important thing to check before even you think of a buy. After all, the stock is only good as the business behind it. Looking at the latest numbers, Family Bank appears to be entering NSE from a position of strength. The bank reported a 55.4 increase in profit in 2025, which is impressive. And it continued with that momentum the first quarter of this year. It has posted a 52.6% increase in its profit. And beyond that, the assets have grown to 230 billion, and customers' deposits have also grown significantly. And also its loan book, it's growing and growing well. In simple terms, the bank is growing, attracting more customers and generating more earnings than it was a few years ago. And who owns the bank at the moment? I've said it has very few shareholders. There is KTDA, there is the Dekio, there is Estate of Rachel Jerimoya, and other institutional investors. And these investors, they have maintained a significant stake in the bank over the years. Why are investors paying attention to this listing? First, it gives investors another option to own a share in the Kenyan banking sector, which historically has been one of the strongest in NSE. Second, the bank has growing profits, assets, and customer base, which is an encouraging or more, making it more attractive. The third one, once it's listed, the buying and selling of the Family Bank shares will become much easier than it was in the past where they traded outside the Nairobi, the NSE platform. And the final one, which I think it will be most important for you and me as investors. The listed companies are required to disclose more information to the public. Thus, it will make it easier for investors, especially if you are interested in investing, to track the performance of this bank and make informed decisions before you invest in it. However, as an investor, you should be careful. While the listing looks exciting and everybody is talking about it, the biggest question right now is valuation. Will the market price Family Bank attractively compared to the other banking stocks? Will the growth continue at the same pace? Meona hizo numbers nimewasomea hapo. The other thing, how much selling pressure might come from the existing shareholders once trading begin? Maybe they come, dump them, and then the price go down. These are some of the questions that you should keep in mind before making any decision to invest in it. And then come that day, which is June 23rd. These are some of the things that you need to pay close attention to. One of them is the opening share price. The other thing is the trading activity during the day or the investors' demand. Remember, the price in Nairobi Security Exchange depends with the supply and demand. And also look at how the valuation of Family Bank compares to other banks, the likes of Equity, KCB, DTB, ABSA, and COP. And then the future earning performance. And once it produces its financial statement, will the bank going to give dividends going forward? This will provide early clues about how the market views the Family Bank. In conclusion, this listing is just a significant development that gives investors another opportunity to exposure to the Kenyan banking sector. Well, the banks have demonstrated strong growth in recent years. Investors should focus more on the fundamentals, valuation, and long-term prospects rather than the excitement surrounding this listing. As always, successive investing is not about buying what is popular today, but owning quality businesses that can create value over time. Thank you.